Hey, out there to all the wonderful people. Welcome to Pick Up the Truth. I hope everybody's coping as best as they can right now with this mind control they have working against us. Um, Yesterday, I went to the corporate market because they always want to make the money they control you with. And even in the times they play mind games with you. It never stops. But I was at the local market and yesterday, and I saw a lot of people with fear in their eyes. I saw a lot of people wearing masks because they were programmed to wear them. I saw a lot of people wearing gloves, and I saw a lot of people keeping their distance like they were told to do. And there's going to be some people that say, well, it's okay to comply. It's okay to go along, even if you're a truther. But it's not, folks. Now, if you look at who you were 2 weeks ago, if you're the same person, then you know truth. If you choose not to let this control your life as much as possible, then you know truth. If you choose not to wear the gloves they command you to wear, if you choose not to wear the masks, and if you choose not to distance yourself from your brothers and sisters, and you choose not to restrict your touch points. And what I'm saying is, if you're scared to touch things, if you're not scared to touch things, then you know truth with your bare hands. Because you haven't changed who you are from the time that this has started to the day we see ourselves in now. You remain the same person because you stay true to yourself. But there's a lot of people that do not. And I ran into some of those people yesterday and today. Yesterday I was at the local market, and there was a clerk, probably a female in her 30s, an adult. But she was all masked up and gloved up, just like they told her to do. They brainwashed her to do. And immediately, I was in the aisle she was stocking. And immediately I noticed the fear in her eyes, and she just looked at me so strange, like she had fear that I was going to contract the disease to her. And I wasn't wearing a mask, and I was touching my nose and my mouth and my lips, and it's probably touching my ears and my hair, who knows. But I know she freaked out and she was nervous all over the place. She just didn't know what to do. And don't get me wrong, I'm not making fun of the woman, and she's a beautiful woman in creation. And but when I looked at my sister in creation and I saw her in this state, it just made me sad, because they programmed her to have so much fear that she couldn't even perform the job they enslaved her with. I mean, this girl, she couldn't even set the products that they brainwash us to buy on the shelves without knocking them over. She was so nervous. She reminded me of a small, fragile bird in a bird cage that their heart was beating 1,000,000 miles an hour, and you were fearful because they might pass out or die at any minute. Which you were hoping wouldn't happen. But what they do to us is real. Because today, it was even worse. It was even worse. Most of the people that I saw in the local market had gloves on. Gloves. And I look at them wearing gloves and I'm thinking, they have these people scared to touch anything real in their life. They have these people scared to touch anything that has to do with creation. And the same with the masks. They instill fear in them and make them fearful to breathe the air that was created for them to live. They make them fearful of creation itself. They make them fearful of the people that are creation. We all are. They make them fearful of us, the brothers and sisters. And they do all that and more because it also is programming them to divide themselves from us, from the people that see truth for what it really is, for people that refuse to be programmed and want to stay who they were meant to be. There's going to be a huge division, and you have to prepare yourself and really think which side are you going to choose to be on, because it's going to be real for you sooner or later, and you will have to make that choice. I was so disgusted at the corporate market that I swore if somebody confronted me because I wasn't wearing a mask, that I was gonna tell them that I'd rather die than to become who you are. And I would have went further in the detail, but that's true. And that goes with if this virus is real or if it's fake. I would still feel the same way. I mean, I felt like I was in a program movie today at the market. I felt like I was on an episode of, you know, of some kind of dimensional shift or something, which I know is not reality because I've seen all this unfold in front of my eyes. But all that's predictive programming that they have for us to live the way they want us to live anyway. So, I know all that. But they don't. And when I turn around and see somebody wearing a double charcoal air filter on their face, and they look like they're getting ready for bioterrorism, something like that, it's just too much for me. I would rather die from a real virus than to live the way they program these people to live. I'm serious. You know why? Because I'm not afraid to die. And you shouldn't either if you know truth. You know, on my channel, I don't teach the Bible. You know, on my channel that I don't teach God and I don't teach Satan. Because the Bibles are stories made up by the people doing this to the brothers and sisters we see acting crazy today. That's how they programmed us, just like they programmed the ones we see acting crazy today. They programmed us with these ridiculous stories in the Bible that they wrote for us. They created these languages that we speak. The letters, pronunciations, the words, everything, the numbers. They're all programmed and they're all created by the Masonic construct that we live in today. The people that created this construct for us to live in and be enslaved in. They also created us to believe in it so we can run it for them. Okay? I mean, think about the money that they created for us to use. Think about what that money does to us. That money that they created makes us the people that we are today. It does. It programs us to be the people we are today. Imagine what life would be like without money. And that is the way, if you can imagine what life would be like without money, that would be the way that you would supposed to live. That would be the way you were supposed to live without money. We wouldn't have homeless people. We wouldn't have hungry people. There'd be more love and compassion for each other in the world. There wouldn't be anything to steal because we'd all realize that the earth was created for us to freely enjoy and eat from. We would all know that, and we would all lend a helping hand to our brothers and sisters if they needed our help. We wouldn't hesitate. In a world without money. And just think all the emotions that come along with it. Depression, the greed, the action and emotions to feel like you have to steal from another brother because you can't afford what they tell you can have or not. That's control of somebody's actions when you put them in a position and you program to be the people you want them to be. It's predictive programming. They've been doing it to us in the television shows to teach us exactly how to act. You know, they taught every family how to be. What'd you do when you came home from the school they programmed you to go to? As soon as you came home, you watched television. Or after you did your homework, you watched television, and they'd program you how to be. They do it to us throughout our entire life. From when we're children to when we're adults. And it doesn't stop. But we don't see it because they program us to think it's just harmless. But we know it's not because we can see now what it does to us. We can actually see that they programmed us to people to be on those shows. You know. We're following the lifestyles and the mind control of the people we despise. People to program us to live this way. It makes me sad when I see other truth channels in these days, because these days are the ones that we really need to band together and really talk to each other about the problems we encounter every day, and if we can help each other in a truthful way and show some love and compassion for each other and be able to be there to ease our pains through this mind control we see our brothers and sisters going through. It's real. It's real. And what these people do to us and how they control us is real. I'm not here to judge anybody for their beliefs, but you can't continue holding on to a belief that programs millions of others that you know are lost. If you've given up the Jesus that is in the New Testament, well, that's good. But you need to realize that the entire book that Jesus is in was written by the ones that you can't trust. Written by the ones who programmed you to be the person you are right now. They did that. You can look in the mirror and you can guarantee that they programmed you to be the person that you are right now, unless you know truth. Then you know. You can look in the mirror and see your own thoughts and your own mind and your own soul looking back at you. And that's comforting to know, because it helps us. It does. It helps us. Because we as a people, we know we're special. And on my channel, I don't teach the words that the ones that control us made. I don't. I only expose their deceptions to you. And I do it because I love you. I'm not judging you. I'm not trying to judge you. And I'm not trying to force you either. All I can do is let you know about these deceptions and talk about it. You can think I'm crazy and continue your predictive programming that they want you to continue with. That's up to you. You'll always have that free will, but there's going to come a time where it may be too late, that you'll realize that you were wrong. And you don't want that time to pass you by. And I know time is man-made. But you don't want that chance to pass you by. Okay? You don't want to miss the boat because you refuse to give up something that's not good for you. You don't want to continue living in the world that millions of others are programmed by and that they can control on the drop of a hat. Because look what they did to our brothers and sisters. It's like they flipped a switch and they created these people that are just unbelievable to look at. But they do the same thing to us in this world that they designed for us. They control us in the same way, but just a lot more many ways. That's the scary part. This is a simple psyop. Just think of all the sophisticated systems they have in place to make us the people they want us to be. And it's mind-blowing, but we have to wake up to this. Live or die, we must always be the people we were meant to be. In truth, live or die, we must always be the people we were meant to be. In truth, not in their lies. If you truly hate the people doing this to you, don't let them control you with their worldly programs. There's nothing, and I mean absolutely fucking nothing in this world that they created for you that you can take from. There's nothing. Nothing. And I don't know how many times I can stress this. The only thing you can take from this world is what is in creation. I'm sorry, my brothers and sisters. We were duped before we even started. Our parents were duped. Our grandparents were duped. And so on and so on and so on. That doesn't mean that we have to continue being duped. That doesn't mean that we can't start over as humanity again. You know, I wish there was a way that we could just stop this economy and keep it stopped. They've stopped it for us. And I don't know for how long. But you don't know how badly I would love to wake everyone up before they had a chance to get their shit straight. Okay? And when they flip that switch and tell you to go back to your program job, or they even put you in some kind of programmed worldly new world order that they programmed you to believe in. Because trust me, if it's knowledge in this world that they have in your head, they can make it happen for you, but it doesn't make it real. It's just another thing they came up for you to believe in, that you can be trapped in. They could put you in a new world order and put you on a universal basic income and tell you that you don't need to work. You don't need to be enslaved in a position any longer. Yes, they can do all that stuff for you. They can reset your life and the way you live it. They can pretend like they're going to give you more freedom. They can tell you, hey, we now have this technology and don't worry, you don't have to work. We'll put the robots to work that we created. Don't worry. And we'll even pay you a universal basic income to stay at home. Don't worry. Folks, even if they get rid of all that stress in your life, you'll still be scheduled on that calendar. You'll still have the payments and in time to schedule your life by. You'll still have the restrictions in your movements. You'll still be controlled by your thoughts and emotions. Will still be controlled by what they want them to be controlled by. You'll still routinely go through their calendar year and celebrate everything they give you to celebrate. You'll still go through all that. You'll still be in the system they want you to be in. We need to stop this way of life. This way of life I talk about on this channel, and it's bad for us. It restricts us. It restricts us. Restricts our thoughts. It restricts the ability for us to learn. It restricts our ability to create wonderful things. It restricts our ability to think outside the box they created for us. And it gives us the freedom to execute those new abilities that we find in ourselves without the program world we live in. That's where I hope humanity goes. Will it happen? No. Not right now. I see too many truth channels we're deceiving the hundreds and hundreds of people that are searching for truth. And I'll go in their comment sections and I'll see where they show what they're programmed by when they leave their comments. All the many things that they give them to be programmed by, they'll leave in the comments. And it's sad to see, because those are hundreds of people. And when these folks put out these videos and deceive these hundreds of people at a most important time in their life, where they're going to be at the crossroads of truth and lies, we can't be doing that. We can't be the people they want us to be. We have to be our own selves in creation. Don't be afraid to die of anything they're going to kill you with, because, folks, you are energy of creation. That's what powers your body. The energy in creation powers that body you're in right now. It makes you the person you are. Free that person from what controls you in this world. Put your faith back into the earth and the plants and animals that aren't being affected by this predictive programming. Share the truth that I have on the channel with the things that'll actually help you and your loved ones, instead of depending on the system that enslaves us and programs us to be the people we don't want to be. I just care about you guys, and I know that we're smarter than this. I have faith in you, all my brothers and sisters. I do. Even the ones that are still following the predictive programming, I still have faith in you. Just let go of everything the Bible that they wrote for you gives you. Throw away all those fictional characters they teach you to believe in. Those fictional characters, they're making you believe something that's not true. Like, for instance, Satan. I mean, it was hard for me. Satan was one of the last things that I had to give up, as far as, you know, what they programmed me with, because I blame Satan for everything these Masonic ones were doing to me. And my hatred was misplaced. I mean, these guys, you know, they had me so fooled. They had my hatred going to the fictional character of Satan they created, instead of going squarely on them, the ones that deserve it. You know, it's a way to protect themselves. And we have to break away from these things. We have to see these people for who they really are and what they're doing to us, so they can't do it to us any longer. You know, we're awake right now for a reason, folks. Let's take advantage of it. I love you guys, and I hope you understand where I'm coming from. I really do. You take care of yourself.